Hello, I'm Dan from Benchmark Media Systems, and before we get started with today's tutorial, please click the like button and subscribe to this channel so you never miss a new video. Today I want to show you how to set up a REL subwoofer using our AHB2 power amplifiers. REL makes a series of subwoofers which can be connected to the speaker outputs of our AHB2 power amplifier. Here we have the T9X along with a couple of cables that REL was kind enough to send for this video. You'll see one end of the cable is terminated with a SpeakOn connector and the other end has 3 wires. The SpeakOn connector plugs into the subwoofer while the 3 wires go to a corresponding binding post on the AHB2. Now here's an important safety tip before we get started. Never connect the black wire to a red binding post on the AHB2. This will short the output of the AHB2 ground and put it into protection mode, and it could also lead to damage in the REL subwoofer. The yellow and red wires deliver speaker level inputs to the REL, but draw no power from the amplifier. And the black wire is a signal ground reference for the speaker inputs. The yellow and red inputs are then summed together in the REL. Now I'll be walking through multiple setups today, and be sure to stay until the end of the video where I'll have some additional recommendations. We want to make sure that you have the right setup for your system. Let's get started. First, we're going to start with a simple setup. We have a single AHB2 in stereo mode feeding a single REL subwoofer. Now, step 1, make sure everything's powered off. And step 2, connect the SpeakOn cable to the back of the REL subwoofer. You're going to insert the cable and twist it until you hear a click. You want to hear that click, it will secure the cable. Now, out of the box, the bare wire is just going to be too long for the AHB2, and we recommend trimming the wire to where it's just slightly shorter than the housing on the binding posts. You do not want any exposed wire. First, we are going to connect the yellow wire to the 1+ binding post. Then we'll connect the red wire to the 2+ binding post. And finally, we will connect the black wire to the 1- binding post. This next setup is for a single AHB2 in stereo feeding 2 REL subwoofers. So you're going to have 2 subwoofer cables for this setup. First, you will connect the yellow and red wires of your left subwoofer to the 1+ binding post. And I've actually twisted the yellow and red wires together. Next, connect the black wire of the left subwoofer to the 1- binding post. Next, connect the yellow and red wires of your right subwoofer to the 2+ binding post. And finally, connect the black wire to the 2- binding post. This next setup includes 2 AHB2 amplifiers in mono mode feeding 1 REL subwoofer. You'll notice that I stacked the AHB2s. If you don't stack your AHB2s, then it may be necessary to extend the red wire. And remember, do not make any connections to the M- binding post. So first we're going to connect the yellow wire to the M+ binding post on the left channel AHB2. And for this video, I'm going to be using the top amplifier for the left channel. So first, connect the yellow wire to the M+ binding post of the left channel AHB2. Next, connect the black wire to the 1- binding post of the left channel AHB2. And finally, connect the red wire to the M+ binding post of your right channel AHB2. And finally, make sure they are both set to mono. Now this final setup includes 2 mono AHB2s feeding 2 REL subwoofers. Once again, do not make any connections to the M- binding post. Now, I just want to clear up some things. We're looking at the rear panels of the unit, so things are going to be in reverse. I'm going to use this as the left channel and this as the right channel. So we're going to start with the left channel. We're going to connect the yellow and red wires of your left subwoofer to the M+ binding post of the left AHB2. Next, we're going to connect the black wire to the 1- binding post. We're going to connect the yellow and red wires of the right subwoofer to the M+ binding post of the right channel AHB2. And then we'll connect the black wire to the 1- binding post. And you'll notice that it's the same wiring for both amplifiers. Just remember keeping your left and right channels in order. And then finally, just making sure that the AHB2s are both set to mono, and you are all set. For all of these setups, the final step is to set the desired volume and crossover frequency for your setup, and you're good to go. And before we end this video, we do have some further recommendations. If you use the bare wire setup, which was just demonstrated, you can still use banana cable to connect to your speakers. The bare wire of the subwoofer cable will not interfere with the banana plug connectors on your speaker cable. Next, and this is specific to the AHB2, if you don't want to use bare wire, you can terminate the ends of the subwoofer cable with banana plugs and follow the exact same instructions shown in this video. You can then connect the AHB2 to your speakers using our NL2 to banana cables. Well, that concludes this tutorial. If you have any more questions, you can give us a call at 1-800-262-4675, or you can email us at sales@benchmarkmedia.com. Thanks for watching.